Welcome to a journey into yoga, simple and safe. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today's practice is going to be just that. Some simple yoga poses that you can do to feel really good, to feel like you're getting a nice morning or afternoon stretch, and also feel safe while doing them. Yoga doesn't have to be about just balance and working on our hands and our feet all the time. There are so many wonderful ways to care for ourselves, seated or lying down. So I'm going to take you through a few things. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy what I'm about to offer. As you notice, I'm sitting on a yoga mat. You can sit on a mat, you can find a comfortable space. You can do this inside, you can do this outside. Sometimes all you need is just the audio. So what I'm going to ask also is that you wear comfortable clothing, something that you're able to move your body and feel very free doing. Also, it's a good idea to have water with you. It really doesn't matter what time of year it is. It's just important to stay hydrated, to feel like if at any time you just need to take a break, cool down a little bit, you've got something near you. And also, if you're starting a new program such as yoga, as safe and simple as it is, sometimes it's a good idea just to run this by your doctor. If you have any potential health risks, you may just want to talk about what you should be avoiding, what poses may not be appropriate for you. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves at all times. So with that being said, I'm outside on this beautiful fall day, sitting on a mat and just starting with my ankles crossed. Now if you feel really tight in the hips, you may want to prop a pillow or something just to give your spine a little bit of lift. So what this does is it opens what we call the pelvic bowl, giving our pelvis stability. At the base of our pelvis we'll find our sits bones, and they're a real nice anchoring point to work with. So all we're going to start now with is our breathing. So we work with our breath starting down in our belly. So many times we breathe just from our chest, the upper part of our body, where we can feel a little bit of anxiety and tension. So what we want to try to do is calm all that down by taking a deeper, more mindful breath coming from the diaphragm. So join me. Let's place one hand down onto the belly. Place the other hand up on your heart. I want you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Now as you take a deep breath in and feel the expansion of your belly start to open outward, imagine the breath arriving up into the heart, bringing love, bringing light, bringing support to the heart. And then when we exhale, we feel a sense of calm. We notice that when we take a deep breath in, we feel renewed, energized, connected to our body, to our being. And then when we exhale, we let go of what we no longer need. Thoughts that can be distracting, images of the past, so we can arrive in this moment and be completely present and mindful with ourselves and what is. So when we breathe in, I want you to take time slowing your breath down. It can be 4, 5, 6 seconds. And then when you exhale, really let the exhalation empty out your lungs. Try to have your exhale last just slightly longer than your inhale. And you'll find your pattern. You'll find your way with your breath. Do you hear your breath? What does it sound like? Do you hear the wind? Do you think of the sound of the ocean? It is a sound that you hear that can be very soothing. Sometimes right before we go to sleep, even the sound of our own breath can be very calming. So connect with your breath once again. And then when you slowly exhale, I now invite you just to let your hands come onto your knees. So palms are open. We're going to take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll drop our ear to one side. Releasing, open the opposite side, being aware of now a stretch. You'll notice as you move from one side to the other, you'll find where your tension spots are. Inhaling, we come back up to center, drawing the head over to the other side and down. Let's inhale again, coming up. This time, exhale, slowly turn your head. And as you turn, just let your eyes roam and look out, exploring the shapes of what you see, the colors, the textures. It's really important to exercise your eyes. Finding our way back to center, we use our breath and then wander over to the other side. With our breath bringing our head back to center, let's inhale, lift the chin towards the sky, lifting up, opening the front of the throat, broadening the collarbones, and then gently exhale, lowering the chin back down. Doing that again, inhaling, lifting the chin slowly up, exhaling, letting the shoulders melt down away from the ears as the chin comes towards the chest. And once more, inhaling to lift, and then exhaling to lower. As we inhale and bring the head to center, now we're going to bring the fingers onto the shoulders. And then when we exhale, relax the shoulders and begin to now move your elbows around. So notice how we started with the head, with the neck, and now we're moving down into the shoulders. As we move through the shoulder sockets, this really helps to bring energy and also fluid to our shoulder joint space. And then we take the elbows and we start to go in the opposite direction. And then through our next inhale, let's scoop the arms out to come up and exhale. So now we're incorporating, moving the head, the neck, the eyes, the shoulders, the arms, and then exhaling. So feel your fingers stretch, open up your hands, and then exhale, let your fingers come down, moving your chin up, bringing your chin down, and again, and then releasing. Now we're going to move side to side. So not only are we continuing to move the head, the neck, the shoulders, and the arms, but now we're starting to open up the waist, the ribs. So we feel a wonderful stretch begin to happen along the sides of the rib cage. So we're moving side to side. We feel now space begin to occur. Let's stop at one side. Relaxing the head, the neck. And then coming up, we'll move to the other side. Really connect with what's underneath your hand. So if you're outside, feel the grass or the ground. If you're inside, feel the floor, the connection to the earth, to gravity. Notice how gravity helps us to feel supported. And then we inhale to come up. Now we're going to let the hands sweep back as we bring the heart space forward, looking out, and then scooping the palms forward. So now we're awakening the spine, moving up and moving back. Inhale, feeling the fullness of the breath in the belly. Exhale, extending the arms back. We'll do this twice more. Inhaling, exhaling. One more time. Inhale to come all the way up. Now I'm going to invite you to safely turn. So we're moving head, shoulders, arms, chest, and then gently into the mid-back. Now taking a full breath in, feel the belly expand, and as you exhale, feel the belly come in and connect to the spine. The breath is now feeding the spine nutrients. We're bringing in fresh oxygen, purifying our blood, releasing toxins. And then slowly coming back to center. Open the arms. Let your chest expand. Let your heart open. And then exhale, coming over to the other side. And then we'll take a deep breath in. Now this time, we're going to take our hands forward. So they slowly reach out in front. We relax the shoulders. Elbows can stay lifted, or we can start to fold the elbows towards the ground. So notice how we're folding over the legs. Releasing the head, the neck, so we can lift the chin slightly and look out. Or if it feels good, bring the chin slightly in. And then we'll turn the hands over and just gently squeeze and release the hands. So bringing some movement through our hands. And then as we extend the hands, we're going to slowly lift, open out to the side, and then bring the fingertips down. Now, from here, what I'd like you to do is take your feet out in front of you. We'll bring the hands safely behind us for support. We're going to start to move now, the knees side to side. So in doing this, we start to feel a nice release of tension in the hips. We're moving energy through our legs. Now, as you wander over to one side, we're going to sit up. Notice how one knee kind of tucks itself to the bottom of the foot, and then we turn. We're going to open the palm to the outside of the other knee. And then I want you to turn your head towards the shoulder that is facing forward. So you would be turning towards me as I'm looking towards you. We'll take a deep breath. And then when we exhale, let's slowly bring the chin around and look behind us. Let's do that again. We're going to inhale, slowly bring the chin around to the front. Softening the expression on your face. We're going to exhale and come around and look back. And then slowly, as we bring the head back around, we come back around to center. Let's drop the knees side to side a few more times. And then slowly we come up, dropping to the other side. We sit up nice and tall, opening the palm. Slowly the head turns as we look out, and then gently our head turns as we look back. Again, inhaling to look forward, and then exhaling to look back, and then slowly coming back to center. Now from here, place your hands behind you, fingertips facing the hips. Actually, that's a nice stretch for your wrists. Roll your elbows in, and then just think about lifting your heart, your ribs up towards the sky. So we stay right here, just getting a nice soft lift. This actually helps to bring a soft back bend into the spine. You can bring your chin slightly in, or you can lift your chin up, feeling a slight squeezing in the fleshy part of the upper back. Take another deep breath here, and then exhale, bring yourself center. Now, let's start to extend the legs out in front of us. So we're sitting up nice and tall. If you feel like you need some support for your back with your legs extended, then you may want to just lean up against a wall. So we're going to start now with one leg. We're going to inhale, scoop in, foot just lifts a few inches from the ground, and then breathe out. So we start to bring some strength into our core, stretching the muscles in our lower back. Remember, always incorporate your breath into what you're doing. Not holding the breath at any time, but just feeling it move through the stretch. Coming in and letting it come out. And then again. and then out. One more time, we're going to take the knee in, and then slowly we're going to draw the foot down. Now, dropping the knee out to the side. If you feel like your hip's tight, you might want to build up this knee with putting blankets or some pillows underneath. Now, with the leg that's extended, let's start to slowly walk down. Now, listen to your body on this stretch. Know when it's enough. When you start to feel a nice stretch begin, a sensation that you can comfortably stay and then stop. Observe it for a few moments and then maybe go a little further. If you start to experience any pain, that's when you really want to come back. Sometimes we're just right here, trying to keep the ears back towards the shoulders. Sometimes we can come all the way forward and hold the foot. So let's take a few rounds of our breath here. And then we'll come up. And then taking a deep breath in, let's exhale, open, and then take another soft twist, just coming around to that knee that's now down. Couple breaths here. And then coming back to center. Let's try that on the other side. So as we take the leg forward, give it a shake. And then we're going to slowly take another deep breath in. Exhale, slide the knee in, drawing it slowly out to the side, sitting up nice and tall, and then making our way. So again, each side is going to have its own personality. So you're going to feel maybe really free and open, and then you might feel a little bit more constricted and limited. These are important things to learn about yourself. This is all part of self-care. Try to be present with what you're doing. So observe the lengthening in the leg, the knee that's bent, and how the hip is opening. Observe if you're tensing up your face or if you're able to relax it and soften your jaw. Notice if you still have a connection with your breathing. And then we wander back up, taking a full breath. Let's take the time to slowly turn again. Oh, this always feels good, just to release tension in our back. And then slowly we're going to come around to center, taking this leg forward. Now, coming down to our feet, let's just circle around at the ankles, moving our toes. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. Good. And then let your feet now start to walk in towards each other. So now, bringing our feet in, almost like the shape of butterfly wings, let's just start to move the knees up and down. So again, if you feel like you want to be propped up on a pillow, it might be a nice idea. Good, and then we're going to let the knees drop down. We don't need to necessarily lean forward. Sometimes it's just nice to let the weight of your inner thighs start to drop the knees out to the side, but then as you're pressing down into your sits bones, lift up, sit up nice and tall. And then we can go back to a nice neck release. Feeling the shoulders drop back and down. Coming back to center. Wandering over to the other side. And then coming center, good. And then shake it out. Good, now bring the knees back out in front of you. We're going to go back to that wonderful heart and chest opener, but I'm going to add a little something to this. So again, we want to think simple and safe today with our yoga practice. So feet are on the ground. Relift the chest, open the heart. That might be plenty for you today. And if it feels okay, lift the hips, balance the knees over the ankles, rise up, bringing heart space up, dropping the head either back or keeping the chin in. So we really want to feel a wonderful stretch happen through the whole body on this. But again, think simple and safe. And then we're going to come down. As we sit, let's take the hands and give them a shake. Good. All right, so I'm going to have you take yourself around to table. So you might find that underneath your knees you want to place a pillow, especially if you have the tension in your knees or something going on in your knees that you be careful of. Sometimes the wear and tear and losing of the cartilage or having damage really can feel like bone on bone when we're in a kneeling position. So it's very helpful to have something underneath for support. Same thing with your wrists. You might want to place something underneath there. So just a simple side stretch, lifting up and then down, coming up. So when you do this again, think about your breathing, how good this feels to open. Let's take it over to one side, and as we do that, we're going to stretch up. Now, what I'm going to do is, as I stretch one arm up, the opposite side, I'm going to extend the leg back, tuck the toes. You don't necessarily have to. It's just a wonderful option. Gives you a little deeper stretch through the belly, the bottom of your ribs. And then we'll come in, slide the knee and the hand in. We'll stretch open on the other side. And then that opposite leg may or may not come back. It's up to you. Good. And then bringing the hand and the knee down. Now, with the knees about hip width apart, hands about shoulder width, maybe slightly wider, we're going to rock. Draw the hips back as if we were going into child's pose, and then gently bring the heart forward, nice bright eyes. So we're moving the pelvic bowl that we talked about in the beginning, forward and back. Feeling the tone in your arms, but we don't want to lock the elbows, so there's still softness in your joints. Gently moving the fluids through. This feels really good to break up stiffness. Sometimes in the morning, we just need a simple and safe stretch to get us going. Or even after a long day, just to relax the body before we wrap up the day and go to sleep. So as we sink back this time, we're going to come into one of my favorite poses, child's pose. So knees can be together, you can open them wider. Some variations for extended are elbows forward. Sometimes you hear this referred to as puppy pose. But whatever it's called, it's a great stretch. And if you feel like you want to support the head, stack the arms and rest. We'll take a few breaths here. And then we're going to start to slowly come back up to table. So if it feels good on your back, just let's start to move into a deep inhale with a cat curl, lifting the spine gently up. And then exhale, opening out into happy dog. So notice how when you inhale, you draw the tail down and under, chin slightly into the chest. Exhaling, moving out. One more time. And then as we come back to center, we can start to tilt side to side. Tilting shoulder and hip towards each other. Notice how I'm gently moving the head along. And then coming back to center. And then slowly we're going to rise up onto our knees, taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let's just gently fold forward, touching our heels and start to come down. Let's try that again. Inhale to come up. You can gently arch back. Exhale. Inhale, coming up, maybe arching back a little deeper. Again, think simple and safe. And again, inhaling. Exhaling. And then as we lift, let's just take our arms up and a nice side stretch here, just moving our hands side to side. Feels good to stretch, hang out on one side. Really feel the stretch along the sides of your ribs, your hip, your outer thigh. Come up. Taking it over to the other side. Taking it up. Bringing your hands together in a soft fist, and then let's just move the chin with the breath up and down. If you've been on your knees too long, feel free to sit back down or even coming into a chair. It's amazing the things that you can do in a chair. Good, we'll do this one more time. Coming out now with the arms, just soaking up all the energy. Letting it pour right into your heart. We'll bring our hands together and then we'll slowly come around. So coming back to center, just shake out your legs. Massage around your knees, especially if your knees are stiff. And this can happen from being seated for an extended amount of time. It's not just always walking around or using a lot of stairs. Sometimes we feel the stiffness in the knees. It can be from sitting too long. So it's good just to get the fluids going in the knees. And we come back to where we started. So I hope today you enjoyed this simple and safe practice. There are so many beautiful aspects of yoga. Yoga can be powerful and energetic, yet it can be very quiet, sweet, and nourishing. So whatever practice you choose, try to make it an important part of you, because how we care for ourselves is so important. When we truly have the time to nourish ourselves, we are then so much more productive in our lives. We are much more centered, we're kinder. We just feel like there's more balance. So my message to you is sending out love and light, and may harmony, peace, and tranquility blanket you and your world. Namaste.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.